Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Tuesday, the 12th of October, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, local referees on major assignments, and in our feature for this evening, we get close up with top FIFA referees assessor Malcolm George Ramsey. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope. Tuberculosis can be cured. And yes, you can live a full life with HIV. Talk to your doctor. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB, HIV. Encourage everyone to get tested.
Well, I'm back, and we start with football. The football match officials from St. Kitts and Nevis were featured in FIFA World Cup qualifier matches on Thursday night last week. Kimball Ward was a fourth official in the match between El Salvador and Panama, held in San Salvador, El Salvador, while Tristy Basu was a fourth official in the matchup between the USA and Jamaica in Austin, Texas. In addition to these major accomplishments, the women officials from the Federation are also shining. Shandor Wilkinson has been selected as a match official for the 2021 CONCACAF Women's Under-17 qualifier, slated for the IMG Stadium in Florida, USA, from October 20th to November 1st, 2021. Chairman of the Referees Committee on the Executive of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association, John Bergen, said these selections are a testament to the SKNFA's development of referees and match officials over the years. The SKNFA has invested heavily in refereeing, and it is seen now on the field of play. Presently, we have 6 match officials, 3 referees, and 3 assistant referees appointed FIFA officials, he said. I must give commendation to the former SKNFA executive led by the late Anthony Johnson. The referee department, managed by Mr. Malcolm Ramsey, has done a tremendous job in getting the performance of our referees to an elite level over the past couple of years. Mr. Ramsey is assisted by Delroy Jeffers, the assistant manager of the referees department, and Macefield Nisbet, a referee instructor from Nevis. A lot of work has been done and continues, he said. Now to cricket, it was one of the great IPL all-round performances as Narayan's 4 for 21 and 15 ball 26 swung and changed the match. 3 balls of Sunil Narayan with the bat changed the game, putting Kolkata Knight Riders one step closer to the IPL final. It was tough though. Royal Challengers Bangalore were defending a total of 138 with fearsome spirit. The score was 80 for 3 in the 12th over. The Sharjah slowdown was well and truly on. On this pitch, an equation that reads 59 from 51 can be dicey. You can't leave it too late. Too many variables. So Knight Riders sent in their pinch hitter, and he went 6, 6, wide, and then 6. 3 balls of Narayan changed the game. 24 balls earlier had set it up. Royal Challengers actually had a solid power play, 53 for 1 at 8.8. Then he came on, and the runs dried up. Only 60 came from the next 11 overs, 60 for 4 at 5.45. Virat Kohli, clean bowled. A.B. de Villiers, clean bowled. Glenn Maxwell, completely deceived. Most people need a cheat code and a computer screen to pull that off. Narayan doesn't. He imposed the video game logic on the real-life game and turned it into Knight Riders' favor. Pressure was mounting on Kohli. He had slowed down once again after the power play, 24 from 16 and 15 off 17, and his desperation was apparent. Narayan knew that in these situations, batters often forget about the basics and just swing across the line. Even one as good as Kohli was susceptible to this weakness as a straightforward off-break sneaked through his defenses. Doing de Villiers required a bit more subtlety. Royal Challengers' talisman had come out with a plan. It involved thrusting his front foot outside off-stump to eliminate LBW and playing across it. Narayan, though, spotted the smallest gap between bat and pad, and he targeted it with missile-like precision. Pace, drift, length and spin, everything came together as De Villiers played all around an off-break and lost his middle stump. That only left Maxwell, and having to do all the heavy lifting with time running out and the spinners closing in, even those invincible sweep shots of his suddenly looked not quite so invincible. Narayan got him to top edge one in straight to the hands of short third man. Knight Riders had saved their mystery spinner for Royal Challengers' big free, and it worked. 12 runs, 17 balls and 3 massive wickets. It was Sunil Narayan's day. Summary scores: Kolkata Knight Riders 139 for 6, Gill 29, Narayan 26, Laya 26, Shadal 2 for 16, Harshal 2 for 19, Siraj 2 for 19, beat Royal Challengers Bangalore 138 for 7, Kohli 39, Narayan 4 for 21, Ferguson 2 for 30, and so the Knight Riders won by 4 wickets. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
Hi, I'm Allie Jordan Gilbert, and I am encouraging everyone to join me as I participate in the National Weight Loss Campaign. Boy!
Well, I'm back, and tonight football is in the spotlight. Tonight we feature an exclusive interview with top FIFA referees assessor Malcolm George Ramsey. I have the distinct honor and privilege to speak with FIFA assessor Malcolm George Ramsey. Malcolm just recently went on a stint in Canada, and we'll be talking a little bit about that. First of all, Malcolm, welcome home. Welcome to Intimacy.
Thank you, Curtis. It's good to be home. It's always good to be home.
Talk to me a little bit about that recent stint. What was the occasion and how did things go?
Well, first of all, the CONCACAF FIFA World Cup qualifying final round is on. The top 8 top teams now qualifying for the FIFA World Cup in Qatar 2022. 3 of these teams will automatically go to the World Cup. I think at the moment, the top 3 teams at the moment are Mexico, USA, and Canada. Right? So those are the top 3, and then you have another 5 teams. They're going to play each other twice. So they're going to play home and away. And then at the end of it, the top 3 teams with the most points will advance. I think the 4th place team, however, will play off with one of the teams from South America, I think, for the 4th team. So the team that wins that one will go on to as well. So whether it's a South American team or CONCACAF team.
So your specific assignment?
Okay, I'm a referee assessor, so my job is really to assess match officials and judges right now. Extension that adds the Caribbean and CONCACAF. So the referee assessor really evaluates the performance of the match officials. In this case, we had a refereeing team from Mexico in the first game, El Salvador against Canada against El Salvador. In the second game, Honduras against Canada against Honduras. We had a Costa Rican referee. Both referees and some of the assistant referees were match officials. So it's really a high-end appointment, as you indicated earlier. We've done quite a few. Kimball himself would have refereed about 3 or 4 matches and scheduled to be one. I think it's the match. My job as an assessor is just to evaluate the performance of the match officials. The evaluation is done in 3 ways. First of all, I have a discussion after the match with the match officials. It's more of a discussion, not telling them,
that you did so and
right,
so wrong.
Exactly. But finding out why they did whatever, and then you come to a conclusion as to the final decision, what it could have been.
Plus you have footage to back you up.
Absolutely. And it will be like positioning and movement, decisions, especially key area situations like penalty area incidents, red cards, no red cards. Then the second stage would be to send an official report third stage is really to follow up with the match official. If there's any clip that you just mentioned a while ago, if there's anything that they would have seen after these two stages, then they will send to the match official. You know, have another discussion about that. So that there's some clarity, some uniformity.
So I don't believe that all of your interactions have been easy. When I say easy, like you point out an error, and human beings generally never do anything wrong. So everything is an argument. How tough is it though to deal with these international referees pointing out the errors as such?
To be honest with this, I'm going to be totally honest. I've done maybe over 100 assessments in FIFA and CONCACAF since I've been doing this from since 2012 thereabout. And I've had international match officials, and most of them, quite a few of them, are match officials. What I find happen, well, in refereeing, I don't know about the other areas in life, and I can dare say maybe here in Nevis with cricket and stuff like that as well. For instance, people like Stewart and Keith and those guys, they seem to have a little more discipline than the guys who are up and coming, who somebody say are talented and stuff like that. So these are professionals and they understand the procedure. There's a part in the CONCACAF assessment process that talks about is the match official receptive to feedback. FIFA doesn't have that, but CONCACAF has that. So I've never had an issue, Curtis. As a matter of fact, in 2014, after the FIFA World Cup, I was sent to Honduras to assess Mark Geiger, who did 3 games in FIFA World Cup 2014. And I remember saying to Charlie that I'm going to
Charlie as in Charlie from Overbar?
Yes. Yeah, I remember saying to him that I'm going to Mexico to assess some World Cup referees from Mexico, and from the USA. And he said, well, you sure not technical to tell you know? So I'm just saying that the higher the match officials are, in my opinion, the easier to deal with and stuff like that. Because the reality is, these match officials, especially in this stage of the tournament, they actually know if they would have made an error sometime before. Sometimes they even get the clip before they assess it, because there are people who are looking at the games, and you know the technology nowadays, somebody can cut it and send it to you and stuff like that. So during the discussion, they will say, you showed them the clip, what do you think about this? They will say, oh, I missed a yellow card. Okay. I remember clearly in 2014, Mark Geiger, there was a situation around the penalty area where he awarded a foul, but he didn't show a yellow card, so he showed him and he said, oh, that's a yellow card. Right? Just like that, you know. So pretty much the left discussion and telling them, oh, you did that wrong, you did that right, and stuff like that. So it's not a problem.
But let me ask a question. Is there any punitive, should I say, aspect to the whole assessment procedure? What I mean is, let's say you have a referee who consecutive games, you find making the same mistakes, similar errors. What's in store?
Well, certainly, Curtis. Those who really do well consistently, like for instance, Kimball, going back to Kimball, he would have done well in most of the match efficiency in some instances. Done well over the years. So if you're consistently making errors, then you're what we call you're put on the back burner unless you don't get quality appointments. So for Kimball and those guys, they're getting quality appointments.
It shows that they're getting good assessments.
They're getting some good performances.
Nice.
But you're absolutely right. If a referee continues to have like maybe bad games consecutively, three maybe red card, 3 missed red card, and lots of missed yellow card or incorrect yellow card shown and stuff like that, then of course they're not pushed off the list, but they're not getting quality appointment. And those who continue to do well will continue to get quality appointment. That is how it works.
And they might send them to an eye specialist as well.
Well, I don't, sometimes it's really not. Sometimes a lot of times when a referee, especially at the top levels, a lot of times when the referee gets a decision wrong, it's not because they did not see. It's sometimes the positioning, or it was not possible for them to see. They did not anticipate well, so they actually didn't see the contact or the no contact and stuff like that. Okay. So it's not so much that the eyes are bad, but maybe the angle is not the best. So it's a lot of things.
Well, you can't tell the supporting spectators that their eyes are not bad. Well, when people back in a team, they're back in a team.
Well, that's absolutely right. But and I guess that's the reason why the VAR is so essential to referees these days. Like other sports, the VAR would help lot of people don't understand the VAR. The VAR is set up in a way that the referee could now have another look.
So it's like a third umpire?
Yeah, but he makes that decision. In cricket, the third umpire makes that decision. But in football refereeing,
so you could pause the game and look at the footage?
No, the game continues, but the VAR, the video assistant referee or the video referee
would be looking at
it, and when there's a stoppage or when there's a right opportunity, he'll say, we want to have a look at, as long as the player has not stopped or has not continued from another phase, we'll say we want to have a review.
Now, could it change the decision?
Yes, the referee now will have a look at the referee, the on-field referee will make that final decision.
So Ramsey, wouldn't that cause some confusion? What I mean is, in cricket, they review, they stop the game, actually stop the game, they don't proceed. So that 4 or that 6 is not given if they see that the person was touching the rope when the catch was taken, blah, blah, blah. So that decision is made right away. So he goes now on the bar where a goal is given, but maybe there was a transgression by the defense at the time in the penalty area. So
the attack. In this case, it will be the attack because the attack will score the goal.
Right. So the attack
would have committed an offense. That's right.
So having infringed, the spectators, I'm looking from a spectator standpoint. The spectators cheering, 1 goal, we got a goal. 15 minutes down the road.
No, it's not so long.
Oh, no, it's not so long.
No, it's similar. It's similar to the cricket. It's really similar to the cricket. You know. What I'm saying is, after that phase.
So he's a quick review.
It's a very quick review.
But the play continues.
The play will continue to a certain stage. For instance, you don't stop it when they're attacking on goal. So if you're attacking on goal, you allow the goal to score, and then you have a look before they start.
I thought there was a...
No, it's not a long period of time.
So it wouldn't cause any confusion?
No. So you don't have, like, for instance, you don't have a stop, and then the game starts again. No, after the game has restarted, and you don't have to review, then you can't.
That's it. Okay.
So that is how it works.
So in terms of the assignment, I realized that you did 2 games.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of assessors get to do 2 games. Could you kind of talk to me about that?
It's a fortunate incident. I don't think it speaks so much of my quality. And when I'm saying that is that I don't think it's because of I'm better than others.
Okay.
But the opportunity arose because of the situation against the COVID-19. They didn't want to have maybe 2 assessors going to Canada for a short period of time. So I just was privileged to get that.
So you were in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, pretty much. But you're absolutely right. Most assessors will not get 2 of these kind of games
back to back like that.
Definitely not. So I was privileged to do, like I said earlier, Canada against El Salvador, and then a couple of days after Canada against Honduras. Really good experience. I've done quite a few of these matches before, but the atmosphere in Canada, I didn't even realize that the atmosphere in Canada for this level, because I've been to Canada several times to officiate, but it's more of the club level, the CONCACAF Champions League and CONCACAF League level and stuff like that. But the atmosphere was really good.
As you mentioned, the atmosphere. Talk to us about the crowds. What the crowd like in terms of numbers?
Well, the stadium, the BMO field in Canada, can seat I think 70,000 persons, and because of the COVID-19 protocols, I think they went half capacity.
Okay, so about 35,000.
Yeah, just about that.
And Ramsey, when you put that into perspective, you know that St. Kitts population is just over 40,000.
Yeah,
so you're talking almost the entire population of St. Kitts and Nevis.
You're absolutely right. Well, as a matter of fact, when Kimber did his first international game at that level, it was Canada against Mexico.
And that was before COVID.
The team, his spectators, they were about 50.
Spectators.
He did well.
He managed.
I think it was most of the game.
So these guys would be leaving tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 12th.
No, the 12th of this month.
Oh, the 12th
of November.
Okay,
so normally, when you have an international appointment, you travel 2 days, at least a minimum of 2 days before the actual game.
So you would have to do the COVID tests before and do all the necessary.
So they probably travel maybe 2 days before. And while we're speaking of that, I think I have an appointment as well coming up back to Canada again on the second, but not the World Cup qualifier. This is now CONCACAF game, the CONCACAF League quarterfinals. So, you know, Canada seems to be a place that we spend a lot of time.
And Ramsey, you know, somebody would ask now, is there space in your luggage? Well, you know,
no, we only have carry-on, guys. When we travel, most of the time it's traveling with carry-on because you don't want your luggage to get left behind and things like that. So you
travel with just basic stuff.
Basic stuff.
And you could buy stuff.
The thing that is required for the actual game.
But Ramsey, when we look at the whole idea of being an assessor, I know you're the type of guy, you don't like people to big you up, but I can't help it, eh? Because actually, this is a man from Bart, from Bart village in Nevis, who has become one of the top referee assessors, FIFA referee assessors across the world. Ramsey, in terms of ranking, I just want the folks to know, are you in the top 50?
Well,
the top 20? Talk to me, because you know there's a biblical story when the prophet, when God asked the prophet if he could find 50 righteous people, I will save them. He said bring it down to 40, he came down to 10, he came, where you?
Well, I'm privileged to be, well, the reality is I'm the only person in the country who has officiated at this level ever in the history of 6 years football. Kimber again. I prefer to talk about Kimber.
I know that, but we ain't talking about it.
But okay, so each course, each year we have a course. We have a assessor's course, and for the past 5-6 years I've been featured in the top 10 CONCACAF as nice assessors and stuff like that. So I'm pretty much around in terms of it, because we have to do video tests, we have to do assessment, we have to assess games and compare the marks with what is expected, what is expected from each assessor, and most of the time I'm there about top 10.
And folks, I don't know if you understand, you have to appreciate Malcolm Ramsey. He really doesn't stutter, but just to talk about himself, all of a sudden his voice lowers.
Yeah, because
it feels embarrassing. But I want to pick up the man. This man is a great man, and we have to recognize what he has accomplished, and anything leaves of me. So I'm proud of Malcolm Ramsey, and whatever he says after that is null and void. I'm proud of the man.
Yeah, because the reality is, for me, you know, God gets all the glory, you know.
Yeah, man.
You know, because He's the one who gives the wisdom, the strength, the knowledge, the understanding, and stuff like that. So I really prefer to
talk about him.
Yeah, we talk about Kimber and the other match officials who are like Linda, for instance. She's one of our nominees for the FIFA list, international assistant list. That she has a fitness test to do sometime this month.
That's Linda Warner.
Yes, I'm hoping that she'll be successful.
Any others?
In Nevis, no. Lenoir in Paris as well. He has already passed. No, he's here actually. He's Junior Paris son.
Okay.
He's actually here. So we have two new ones from Nevis to be nominated. We have two from St. Kitts, two sisters. Shanda Wilkinson, who's a referee, and Tyra Wilkinson, who's a sister. She's assistant referee as well. So
that's good news.
We've sent 10 match officials this year. We've had 6 for several years now. I think from since 2017 we've had 6 consistently, and so the six 3 referees and 3 assistant referees, male, and we're hoping to have some females included in this. So that is the kind of thing that I talk about.
I understand, and I appreciate that, and I congratulate them as well. But here's where we go again, as I speak about Malcolm George Ramsey, because what he wouldn't tell you, in a nutshell, is that he would have learned and didn't keep the knowledge to himself. He would have done. As a matter of fact, I just busted one of his coaching sessions to get this interview. He has passed on his knowledge consistently to locals here in Nevis and over in St. Kitts. And so he wouldn't tell you all that. What we have to pick up Malcolm Ramsey. It's as simple as that. And as somebody would say, and we done there. So it's as simple as that. Yeah, we just have to pick up the man. Ramsey, for the benefit of a youngster who is looking on right now, tell us about some of the should I say, attractions or the benefits that you could get as a referee's assistant, even a referee's assistant. Are there some perks Okay, so my son didn't become a doctor. Oh, my son didn't become a lawyer. Those are not the only professions in the world. As a matter of fact, their professions making more money than those guys, eh? Let's start about some of the benefits.
The bottom line is you can have a full career just being a referee. There's several persons across the world who are full-time referees. Well, I do a little part-time work in the Senate News Football Association as relates to refereeing. So it's still in the capacity of refereeing. So my career is really okay. Instructor, assessor, right? But yes, of course, it can be you can decide you just want to be a referee. We have all the training material here in St. Nevis. I'm the manager of the referee department in the St. Nevis Football Association, and I'm also the chief instructor here in the country. So we have all the teaching material that is necessary. Macefield, of course, he's the fitness instructor. He's the one who deals with the fitness aspect of it, and I deal with the technical aspect. And we have other persons who are involved in the technical training and stuff like that. So yes, the short answer is yes. And as it relates to the perks, Curtis, I was really privileged. Well, normally, especially in a FIFA appointment, when you get a FIFA appointment, you travel first class. Everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're assessor, instructor, or referee.
So you sit where the Prime Minister sits?
Well, actually, as a matter of fact, when I came back here, the last flight I came back on from Canada, the Prime Minister and I were sitting next to each other.
Wow.
So, you know, it's a kind of, it's really a top level job to do. I normally say to people that I get paid to watch football. So it doesn't get much better than that.
It doesn't get better than that. And you stay in the finest hotels?
Yeah, definitely. Normally 5-star hotels. So for instance, if there's a FIFA appointment, the match official will no doubt know that they're staying at the Marriott Hotel. So all the top hotels people staying over and over country. So yeah, there's some perks involved in it.
And the money is good.
The money is good. The money, like I said, well, the fact that I'm saying that you can make a career from it means that you don't necessarily have to work as long as you're serious and committed to what you're doing.
I've learned, right, that if you love your job and you're committed to your job, you really don't have to work another day in your life.
But that's right.
Because you love what you do. That's why you can understand some cricketers, you know, some cricketers, right? When we were growing up, we played cricket day in, day out. Some of us got licks because we didn't remember to look after the animals, and we played cricket.
For fun.
Yeah. So when you're getting paid for fun, for the fun,
yes, exactly.
Shouldn't you try to excel even more?
Absolutely more. I've been privileged. Well, you know that I lost my job back in the 90s, 1996, as a result of football, right?
You want me to tell them about that? So that's another story. Okay.
So I'm really privileged, Curtis, to know that I did that, all of that for fun, really and truly, you know. I was
those days you weren't being paid,
right? And that those days I was involved in coaching, doing everything free, you know, and stuff like that. If anybody had told me that I would be given the opportunity to travel, pretty much to travel across the world, and especially in the CONCACAF region and officiate and stuff like that, and see so many different countries, I would have said no, that's impossible. And that was not the reason why I did it anyway, because I didn't know about FIFA in those days and things like that.
Love and sacrifice pays off, you know.
Absolutely, you know? And so certainly, Curtis, yeah, it can be a career that is fruitful and productive. I don't think if I had to travel all the countries that I've been to over and over again, I would.
You couldn't make it.
I would not have been able. I would have had to live over 100, and when I'm dead, my loan would not have been paid off. You know, so it's a real privilege.
So finally, as we wrap up, Ramsey, talk from your heart to somebody who maybe needs a chance to excel and what it takes, because you're now reaping the benefits of hard working, nights of study, days of giving for free, sacrifice, and now you could reap the benefits. People looking at you might think it happened overnight. It didn't. Your final words.
Well, Curtis, the reality is, as long as you trust in God, I think all things work together for the good of God. That's the first thing. So trust in God, confidence in God is key. And then you mention the commitment and the sacrifice and dedication that is necessary to be involved. And sometimes people don't believe in you, but you have to believe in yourself and stuff like that. And believe in that God is able to, like, there's a scripture that says, I can do all things. So as long as you have that kind of faith and confidence and belief, all the greats, most of the greats that I would have known, they give credit to Almighty God. And of course, you know, I profess Christian faith for some time now, for several years now, and I know that everything that I ever had, I have to do my God and stuff like that. So that is key for me. And again, commitment, dedication, you mentioned sacrifice and stuff like that. I think several of those. The Matthew Fisher is saying this, and the cricketers, the Stuart Williams, the El Camino Willett, the Keith Atherton, the Adrian Williams. It's just sacrifice along the way. Anybody who accomplished anything internationally of any great magnitude, so that is a big key. That's the key factor to it. And of course, giving God glory for what we accomplished.
Malcolm, I want to thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to your next assignment. We look forward to the assignments given to Kimbell, Mario, and the others. And we look forward to you, Linda, getting on the radar very soon. So thank you very much for all the work you have done, and we look forward to your continued, should I say, giving to the other members of our community.
That is exactly what it is.
Thanks. All right. Thanks a lot. Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.